series. We're going to be starting off in the top left-hand corner with the Taiwanese Protoss player. It is Nice.
And spawning over in the bottom right-hand side as the blue Protoss, it is Nanami. Site Delta to start things off, and it was Site Delta to end things in the previous series. I think that's a nice way to go about it. And already very different approaches as well.
Yeah, it is obviously Site Delta to start, so we've got this map with the ramp already. Nanami says, cool, not afraid of the low ground gate expand. Nice will go high ground gate, and then we'll see if it goes to gate or not. Let's just have probe continuing through, a similar start on both sides, and away we go.
Away we go indeed. I do think this is going to be an interesting one. Two gas up for Nice on the go. Double gateway as well. I mean, that's already very interesting to me, just because this has been such a prominent map for expanding. And I do see from Nanami, after seeing this, he's like, you know what? I'm just going to go throw down a Nexus very quickly over here. And, you know, if this game goes on for more than like 6 minutes or so, he's going to be taking a massive eco lead, and he's the one that scouted everything that's going on. But Nice, I think he's prepared something for this kind of situation. I do. Like, the fact that he's not scattered across the map, like, it's a more predictable map, right? In knowing what your opponent's most likely going to go for. And that does make me think that he's definitely got something up his sleeve here to deal with it.
It's Nice as such a preparation-based player as well. Like, he always has cool ideas, good ideas, and he definitely always preps for his opponent. You see it a lot when he has these matches where you do know the player ahead of time, especially like, I think back to like WTL a few times when he's, you know, being prepped as the ace player unexpectedly, and stuff like that. So definitely a player that's, you know, expecting to have some ideas, you know, able to kind of get away with later scouts and stuff, and be able to, or be ready to kind of stick by his plan. Obviously, this is no expansion from him still, and we're just waiting for him to see what he's going to do with that gas as well.
Yeah, because no tech choice being made from him. No Nexus at all. It's going to be a Robo, nice and early for Nanami, and it is going to be a Nexus for him. Very curious about this one. It's... I'm looking at this and I'm just like, I feel that Nice is just kind of getting himself behind unless he can do something about this. Like, you've seen this so many times where the guy takes a gateway, an expansion, and then the other guy tries to deal damage to it early on, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, you're dead. But Nice is just choosing to play a game where he's behind, I feel. Maybe just hoping to do something with the blink that he's going to get online very nice and early.
It has to be some blink aggression, right? And then just hoping you can find some damage. But we already see an Immortal on the way up from Nanami, so he's going to have a pretty stalwart defense at home. It's hard to imagine that Nice is going to be able to kind of pincer in with Stalkers and, yeah, 3 gates. Honestly, kind of love it for Nanami, because right now, to me, his army is going to be looking good against Blink, and if he gets an aggressive attack himself against a late Blink, against someone who's just been on a less effective build, I think I love it for Nanami through and through. He is not adding any probes. He's really committing to this attack, so it's important you deny the hallucination. He does exactly that. Prism on the way. We are sending this, and Nice wants to proxy 2 gates. This is going to get kind of crazy.
It's going to get very crazy. Like, really damn crazy. I still like it for Nanami overall. I mean, this proxy location is quite far away, but Nice has been using a lot of the energy that he has on hallucinations, just trying to get an idea of what's happening. But it's going to be at his front door very damn quickly here. Yes. And no shield battery. He's not anticipating an attack in the slightest.
Yeah, because he thoroughly believes his aggression is going to be better, and he's warping in aggressively too. Oh no. Like, the gateway count is nice, in theory, but then he has to warp in the right places, right? And, this is going to be bad. I feel like the first push up here from Nanami is going to be very powerful, because it's also going to be pre-blink. Nice realizes he starts to try and set up. He drops the force fields, but the Prism can just leech units over that, and that is going to mean that we can start to kind of fight this in full. We're going to get the warping going, and yeah, Blink is still not even done. The timing here for Nanami is absolutely spot on, and Nice walks 2 Stalkers into the face on the other side. Well, that ain't going to change the course of this game.
No, that is the most casual stalker walk into a base that I've ever seen. Just nice sightseeing there at top of the ramp. 2 of the gateways will be unpowered here, and GG. I tell you what, that was a very anticlimactic game one. I was like, I hope that Nice has got something planned here, and he did have something planned. It's just Nanami was having none of it. He's like, I'm gonna have a better eco than you. I'm gonna expand and then kill you in 5 minutes, and it's never looked simpler.
Never looked simpler. Just hope your opponent does probably the worst build they could do against you. Like, Blink was finished as you died, you know? And then he warped 2 Stalkers across the map that did nothing. It was a slow warping as well. Wow, that's one hell of a way to lose out, as Ghost River going to be coming up for game number 2. And Nanami going to be absolutely happy with that one. Definitely a good start. Each way to begin. As we get game 2 going in a couple of moments. Get this set and ready to roll.
And Ghost River, first time we've seen this today, actually.
Yeah.
So nice and refreshing to spot it.
Yeah,
There's still a few maps we've yet to see at all, right?
Yeah, Dynasty doesn't get played a lot. Post-Youth has not seen a lot of play today. I feel like Post-Youth gets a lot of play in Europe. Dynasty doesn't get as much play. Ghost River is kind of one of the ones that was initially more popular, but people are figuring out that this is a map that is, despite it being kind of smaller, it is like, you just expand and cannot die. Like, it's very difficult to attack into your opponent. I think people are realizing they don't like that, so we're starting to see people kind of figure things out, you know?
Post-Youth is a Benny map. I love that map. Yeah, I'm greedy beyond greedy, and then they're like, "Oh, you're gonna 3 racks me," and then I'm like 2 battle cruisers across the map, and I'm.
Is that the map you were playing on when you did that tweet where like StarCraft is brutal and you like lost one, like, lost an SCV?
Yeah, I lost 1 SCV, and it was like 4.7k resources lost. It's also. I met like the spirit of Idra one time and posted a screenshot of that too, where this guy tried to ravage it all in me, and then he, types "you're so freaking bad," but in far harsher language. I was like, oh man, that's a blast from the past. That is. Anyway, spawning over in the top left as our red Protoss, it is the Taiwanese player. It is Nice.
Up right hand side will be the blue Protoss player Nanami. And up 1-0 in this best of 5, looking to...
No pylon.
Ooh. There's a good cannon rush map. The assimilator is in range of the cannon rush on the low ground, so it could be 2-gate forge.
Yeah, I got to see Fujumi go for the attempt. Uh-oh, that is a very quick scout. Very quick scout, and...
Disaster.
Disaster. I mean... it's almost like Nice has played this map before, right? And probably being like, oh yeah, that can happen. That's pretty bad. And
I actually think Nanami expected him to scout. That's why he's building it here, because I think he expected him to scout the natural, because loads of people have built it to like the right of the natural. So he was like, I'll build it over here, because if he scouts the natural, then he'll go across the map maybe, if anything. But no, Nice is like, I'm scouting everywhere, and so yeah, the gig is up.
You say the gig is up in the north? As opposed to the jig?
I feel like you can say either or.
No. This is like GIF, It's only GIF.
I mean, I'm probably just saying it wrong, honestly. I do this a lot with with like sayings. I like have a rough idea of what the saying is, so I'm just like, oh, I'm just gonna put it out there. No one would have questioned if you didn't say it though.
I just heard you say it earlier as well, and I was like, oh my goodness, what's going on? But this, I'm surprised that Nanami is not out the game right now. I don't know how this goes from this point. I mean, he's going for a big full wall off here with a pylon and the cyber core, but you get up this ramp, you're going to be met with a greater eco than yours. And he's going for it. I mean, we'll get maybe a little bit of a win on the Zealot front here, but probes are not bad in these kind of situations, and Nice with some decent micro just to mitigate the damage. And now he's going to have Stalkers out a little bit quicker as well. I'm a bit sad I didn't get to see the potential of the cannon rush happen, because that would have been really cool. But it's problematic, isn't it? Wait, was he shooting his own Zealot?
No, not sure, but this is not great for Nanami, but I mean, he is actually going to get rid of that Zealot. He's got a Stalker out. I don't want to say that's good for him, but like, the dude is up a couple workers and has the army supply to at least stand and fight back a little bit, so There's something of a positive there. Warp Gate starting from nice, though, and that is going to be a difference if Nanami doesn't start that soon, so that's something he's going to have to get on top of as the back and forth continues.
Yeah, nice focus fire from Nice here. Does go for the Stalker that is a little bit wounded. Has a prepped proxy gate on the other side of the map as well.
I love the robo from Nanami. You know what? You're so committed to it, you may as well just make it as crazy as you can. So get the robo facility up and get yourself some aggression or some further aggression going. And you know what? Because this is a full wall off, the gate across the map would have to be like Stalker warp-ins. If this wasn't a wall off, then maybe you could just like slide a couple of depths in. But if you commit Stalkers across the map, I don't love that. Obviously, if the probe ends up killing the pylon, maybe you can build a depths, but can't imagine we let that actually go all the way through.
What do you think he's going to go for first with this robo? Like a warp prism or?
I actually thought he was just going to go instant immortal, but maybe you could go prism first. So you have the high ground. You start poking at the gates. Yeah, maybe actually, yeah, prism.
Any way we look at it, though, it's like you're fighting against shield batteries without shield batteries, and this little probe fight here, Nice's did have a little bit more health to kind of sway with, and Nanami, he is maybe going to look around for a potential proxy, but this is a tricky one. This is a horrible one to be in, actually. Although his supply is higher, like it's such a weird scenario.
Yeah, his opponent's just waiting to warp in, though, right?
Yeah.
And now the warp-ins are ready, and this is the difference. One guy has warp-ins, the other guy does not, because warp gate never started for way longer. And these Stalkers show up, and Nanami gets supply blocks, so that's going to hurt a lot as well. And it's pretty much just going to be go time. He's sending 3 Stalkers back home.
Yeah, can't recall, got no energy.
Yeah, I feel like he should just... I feel like at this point, though, it's literally just better just to fully send it, no? Like, just try and completely break through on the other side, but maybe he feels that's not going to happen, in which case... Yeah, I guess you just got to try and send these home, deal with it. Somehow we've only lost 4 probes during this, so...
Yeah, it's definitely going to start climbing now, though. Shield battery energy and the focus fire is pretty damn solid here. And Nanami, he's 10 supply behind. There's a shield battery wall, but he is in the main base here, Wardy. Doesn't depower anything, actually. It was not an Autosis pylon, but Nanise is just... He's played this clean, I think. Very clean. Oh, my god. Okay, that's it. That's it. GG. All right, tied up. 2 5-minute games to start things off. Lovely jubbly.
Yeah, these guys are like, hey, we appreciate Europe starts in about 45 minutes. We're going to make sure you guys have at least 10 minutes break before then. Just in case we go to all 5 games, we'll just make sure you guys have a bit of downtime before the next region starts. So, you guys, nice and Nanami.
I want to ask you an important question.
Okay.
I say lovely jubbly. Do you say lovely googly?
Oh, I think it's just me there. I think it's probably is the jig is up. I'm going to Google it. Hang on.
I'll save you now. You're. It's definitely jig. It's definitely jig.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought.
Alrighty. Okay, now what will the third map be between these? Because so far these have been very one-sided games between these guys to get things going. And I am wondering.
So apparently it, like, officially, like, from way back when, it was the jig is up, right? You know, because, like, the jig is like a dance and stuff, so it's like, or, like, apparently Practical Jokes is like, it's over, but, like, it can be used as the gig is up.
No.
But a lot of people have been confused about this in the past. I'm not the only one.
Americans, right?
Yeah.
Americans get very confused.
Yeah. That's what it is. I went to America recently. It's linger.
It's broke you, Audie. It's broke you.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be Oceanborn now between these two. And if I'm in a series like this where it's just been what the hell is going on, I'd probably feel a bit better if I'm in Nanami's shoes because he went for a very, very risky build there in game 2, which it got spotted before it began, you know. Definitely brutal.
Yeah, that was rough. Nice absolutely realizing the map and just saying, no, I'm not going to take any risks at all here. As we get ourselves ready for Oceanborn map number 3, tied up 1-1. And yeah, big series, of course, because again, the chance to kind of go through onto that semi-final, play some PvP, and maybe continue your run here in the Asia Regionals. Yeah, and everything in Asia does play over the next 4 days. I think tomorrow is like upper bracket and lower bracket. Upper bracket round 2, lower bracket round 2, and then the day after that there's going to be some more upper and lower bracket combos, and then we have the finals on Sunday, which is amazing how quick that comes around.
Yeah, and just to talk about their rankings in the group stage, they both made it through, obviously, but they made it through in the closest way. They were both finished rank 4, equal rank 4, with the 7-4 in maps apiece. Means they're technically the two closest players, like seed 4 and 5, if you will, going into it. So this is technically lined up to be a close series.
All right, well, let's get into it. In the top left-hand corner, the blue Protoss player is going to be Nanami.
And spawning over in the bottom right, as that red Protoss, it is nice.
Yeah, I'm absolutely...
High ground pylons for both of these dudes.
It kind of makes sense, right? I don't think... I think it's one of those scenarios where, like, there's just no reason to play the low ground 1-gate expand, so then, like, at all, like, even MaxPax isn't doing it. And if MaxPax isn't doing it, I don't think anyone should do it.
No, I mean, MaxPax is definitely a guy that lives and dies by certain things, right?
Yeah, I mean, that was the build, that was Himp's build, that was the MaxPax style, and even he's gone to, like, the high ground 1-gate, so... at least the majority of the time, so yeah, I really do not think that low ground gates are going to be much of a thing anymore.
No, and I think rightly so. They're just too vulnerable these days, aren't they? A bit too vulnerable. And both these players will be scouting about with their initial probes to get things going. And, you know, after casting 2 full PvPs right before it, I don't know what to add, Wardy.
It's just very standard, isn't it?
I'm just trying to think of words that...
Well, you need sayings. If you can find sayings, I'll probably say them wrong.
sayings that you'll...
Well, no, I think it's just like, I'm casting, right? Like, and so I don't really use these sayings and stuff in my everyday life. You know, I'm not that kind of person. But then I'm casting, I'm like, oh, this is a perfect time to say something that thing that people say. So then I, like, get it halfway, but I don't know it in full. Happens to me all the time, man.
For me, I know that I often say dumb things, which I know after a cast, I'll have a few of you guys be like, what? And I'll just be like, oh yeah, that just slipped out, you know. Like, sometimes it happens when you're casting. We do have some deviation on the go here already. Nice going for a proxy Stargate. It's not something you see all that much these days. Ooh, both with a Stargate. This is going to be... a funny one. Will Knight... Oh, no, won't be able to get the confirmation there of what was going off. That was very close to spotting it.
Yeah, this feels pretty good for Nanami. Obviously, no proxy versus the proxy. The proxy can still come quickly.
Show ref B.
Oh, we're at ref B cam?
Yeah.
Ref B cam. Look at this. It's beautiful.
He loves the scenery, man. He loves it.
Yeah. He is, and you'd think he just tapped out and the mouse caught and scrolled him to the top. No, he actually just sits there and just watches it. He just watches the rest of the game via the minimap.
Absolutely. He's a minimap enjoyer. He's got one of those mods, you know, where you just make the minimap as big as the screen kind of thing.
Magnifying glass on app or something, just like...
Yeah, this Oracle could be spicy, by the way. Like, this so far unspotted, but Nanami doesn't really have too much reason to move out. And it looks like he's decently positioned for this, so shouldn't take too many losses, even with a Phoenix showing up.
And that's very quick for the Phoenix to get on the Oracle, right? So there's unlikely to be a recall available. And
one probe down.
Yeah, this is bad. Second Oracle building, which might be something to catch you off guard. These Adepts are going to get into the mineral line. I mean, we are going to absolutely send this. The Phoenix needs to come back, because the Phoenix can lift one of these Adepts and take away the one-shot potential. This is going to end up as 6 workers killed, maybe. Oh. No, that's the... Yeah, that wasn't it.
You know, if he was to lift up one of his own probes that was, you know, about to get one shot, that would have been sick, but that was maybe the worst of everything. That was great.
Yeah, less damage to clean up, more damage taken because you didn't get rid of the units dealing damage. As now another Oracle flies in, but the Phoenix just gets the catch on it, so this one is found quickly as well. Get a Stalker warping in. This time the Oracle is going to get 2 probes before it gets chased away by the Phoenix. And
mate, this is so costly for Nice, though. Like, he's sent a lot of units to deal damage, and Nanami now has a good bunch of Stalkers, and I tell you what, I think this move out across the map is got a lot of potential, doesn't it?
Yes. I think so. I mean, he's got a lot of army supply advantage. There's double battery here from Nice. He's aware of the potential danger he is in, as he's going to try and get to Blink. I love the hallucinated stalkers. It's very difficult for Nanami to know which of those are real and which are not right now. There's also the Oracle of Nanami in the main base, which is going to stasis ward. A couple of workers on gas, so not a bad thing to get a catch on. So that's definitely a little bit of a factor too. So we grab that. Phoenix, Probe, Blink, all continuing out here. Robo facility building from Nanami as well. And we just see this Oracle showing back up from Nice. Gets a couple shots off, but will not do too much. And this time, ooh, would have gone down to this Phoenix's recalls on cooldown, but it actually just slipped out of range. Now it
yeah, so that Oracle. I mean, the Oracles definitely haven't got done what Nice was looking for. He's got his own Phoenix on the map now, by the way, which is interesting. I mean, definitely can help with picking off the Oracle of his opponent, which also has dealt very little. 0 damage done in terms of just kills. Did obviously get that stasis, and that Oracle does not know how lucky it just got.
Yeah. Very fortunate as the Blink so late for Nanami, though. So the Blink timing of Nice will not have a lot of units. But the units he will have will be very efficient. And so that maybe just saves him for long enough to just be okay in this game and catch up a little bit. Obviously, it's going to be a mile and an eternity until Nanami is able to reach anything off of that Twilight Council in comparison. I like that he's building the Immortal because it will keep him safe defensively as well if needed. I think Nice is doing the right thing. There's nothing Nanami can do right now with Blink completed, so he just takes the third base and will start to work on an eco advantage. And I say build on, because he already has a 6-worker lead.
Yeah, it's a proper weird PvP, actually. Proper weird. And Nami's like, you know what? Let's start up quite a lot of gateways. So 4 gateways, and Glaives kicking on up as well. So I don't think he wants to make this a long one, given that it's just been real chaotic so far. Pro count is low, and this scouting hallucination, it went over the bases, and he started up probes just to make it look like they were working, and then he cancelled them. That's actually really damn cool out of him, and that could have quite a bit of an effect this game, but we'll see, because right now, Nice probably thinks he's just in a regular game right now, taking his third base. He's also not probing, by the way, so maybe he made the Giga 5-head read, although I think he did spot all those gateways warping in here. Yeah, he did, so he knows that aggression is to happen, and Nanami, while he stopped the probes, which is one thing, Nice did spot the other.
Still needs to build the right stuff. If he gets all these gates up and spams zealots into Glaive Adepts, he's going to have a bad time. So
that's true.
Needs to kind of keep the Stalker count high, because the Stalker's been in good numbers, are what can withstand that Adept damage and be okay. Yes, a few Zealots are nice, because you want to kind of waste the Immortal shots, but there is still potential for Nanami's setup, and he has got a lot of supply, and again, Adepts work best when they overwhelm. That is exactly what I think Nanami is currently set up to do.
You know, Nice seeing this army with this many Adepts in the mix. He has to start thinking, like, you know what? That's a weird unit to be making this much of, like, but right now he doesn't have a lot of gas to spend. Like, he's just working off the 2 gases in his main, which I've seen a lot of the players do in this region. And it's going to be Glaive Adepts, and doesn't get a shot off with this Adept, so it doesn't quite reveal that it is Glaive Adepts, but still, this is going to be very, very difficult to deal with, I feel, because that is a lot of units.
It really is. We have ourselves a couple of Immortals getting shots on Stalkers as well, which is a great prism from Nanami. It's going to finish and come across the map as extra Adepts are being warped in. Nice sets back onto his batteries. Again, an 11-worker lead, so he is very much so set to try and just keep warping in and defend this. Can he get enough up as these Stalkers trying to get a few more shots off? That's why the Immortals shouldn't be pulling back. They should be kind of turning and getting some shots off themselves onto these Stalkers. As the Adepts, they want to try and go towards the Zealot if they're going to go anywhere. And they did kind of redirect for that on the Shade, but does not commit to it, as you see the Stalkers still trying to shave up a couple more units with the Adepts now warping in off that prism.
Nanami currently supply block, but he did just get in a big warp in of these Adepts, and that is a lot. And he's getting into a position here between about as many shield batteries as he can find, actually, and that is a lot of charge lots that get into the mix straight away. Big old blinks on these Immortals, which will take them down, but I tell you what, that Warp Prism in the north might be the bigger target here, and Nice's supply is dropping pretty rapidly. Warp Prism will go down as well. More Zealots being warped in here, which, again, might not be the correct choice, but I think Nice is dealing with it. I think he is, and I think he's going to survive this game. And honestly, not bad defense, but it's not all over just yet. These Adepts are starting to get a lot of probe kills here.
Yeah, it is not over at all. It was a big deal that he got rid of the Immortals because that was the thing that was going to be able to...
Wow!
Wow, that was going to be the thing that was going to be able to fight the Stalkers. Nice says GG. He decides that that is just going to be too much. I don't think he's wrong. He's losing so many probes. He's not going to stop those Adepts. And by the time he does recover, his opponent has way more units once again. And at that point, maybe he doesn't even need Immortals. Just pure Adept from there on out. And Nice is just never going to be able to build up on his army any longer because the Adepts are just going to kill probes at a faster rate than he can ever clean the Adepts up. So Nanami gets to a 2-1 lead.
It definitely feels like these Adept builds are getting a bit more popularity just with this low gas count of the Protoss these days. Because if he had just like more Stalkers in the mix, I mean, Stalkers aren't the best thing against Adepts, but at least they don't take massive damage. Kind of what you really want to try and get online is some Archons or something like that, but with this low gas count, you just don't have the numbers or the money available. I think Nanami actually handled that pretty damn well. It was definitely a bit crazy, that attack path, but the blink onto the Immortals, allowing the extra Adepts to warp in the north, I think that was a really, really good move.
Oh, we have Golden Aura for map number 4. This Nice is going to have to go to the drawing board. And the one game Nice is winning, like, he scoured a proxy 2 gate, right? Like, you know, you don't get those games all the time. So this got to be feeling pretty rough for Nice. It has not been his series this far. And Nanami has got to be feeling pretty good because everything that has been a more normal game has done, you know, genuinely gone his way. So just waiting for our referee to start us off. We are all set otherwise. And are ready to go into Golden Aura for map 4 of this series.
You know, I was a little bit surprised that that went as badly for Nice, actually. Like, he had good defense against the Oracle as well with the Stasis. Like, it never really got that much done. But I'm kind of discrediting how bad his Oracles did early on. Like, between 2 Oracles, it was just like, all right, I've done how much damage? Killed, like, 2 probes between 2 of them. So definitely not the best. And yeah, cool. I mean, that was chaos absolutely everywhere. I liked the play out of Nanami, honestly, and it's no wonder that these kind of attacks are getting so much more traction. Nice target fire as well on the probes. Spawning here in top left of Golden Wall. Life on the line now is Taiwanese. Nice.
Bottom right, the blue Protoss player. It is Nanami, a map away from the upper bracket semi-final matchup against Jishi.
Yeah, weird series between them. It's very cool to see so much difference in PvP. Like, of all the guys today, I've definitely felt that Lemons is the most solid.
Yeah.
But it's fun to see that there's so many or rather, what's the word? Spanners that you can throw into the cogworks here and just really get damage done, you know?
You try and pull on me, and you're just saying you're not fully familiar with and messing it up halfway through.
I felt like it, yeah.
I appreciate you taking one for the team, Ben. You didn't have to make me look good.
You're welcome, mate. You're welcome. It was kind of funny. Like, in the last moments of that game, Nice was booting up, like, +1 air weapons. I don't know if you noticed that.
Oh, yeah?
Like, it must have been a misclick, right?
I can't
Where he was trying to, like...
Yeah, I would think so.
I still don't think... I think that was one of those situations where Nice was just like, you know what, screw it. Because he was still on 3 Nexus.
Uh-huh.
I think he just felt that he was actually way more behind than he was. But anyway, he knows better than I do.
Some would say. I mean, it's one of those moments where perhaps he just knows that the next 30 seconds plays out, he's going to lose 10 more probes, have no rebuild, and reinforcements show up and he dies. Because the problem is if you lose too many probes, rebuilding any probes becomes almost impossible because you can't afford them alongside building units, right?
It's just army supply was also pretty close. Like, I still think his standing army, like, because he's going to clean that up, I still think he has a lot of potential for a counterattack. Okay.
I mean, yeah, could have been. Maybe that would have been his way to still do something in that game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we see it all better, right? Because we see the whole thing, but Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
I'll give a yep to the yep man himself. Alrighty.
Triple yep.
Nexus. Yeah, Nexus starts off earlier for Nanami this game. A couple of sentries for him. Sentry Stalker fort, nice, and seen a lot more sentries in PvP. Twilight Council also starts up very quickly for Nanami.
Yeah, it's going to be seeing the Twilight going to be giving him some tech early. Already seen some Stalkers in production. We're seeing this kind of, remember I talked about earlier, the 2 gates, but we actually only use one of them. We built like a Stalker and 2 sentries here from Nice. That's kind of what he just did. He was only really using one of these gates throughout, and now he's on the Stalker and a couple sentries. The Twilight Council is about halfway done. Nexus finishing soon. So Nice with his own Twilight will just be that a little bit later on the blink.
Yeah, this is one of the most honest games between these two that we've seen, where it's just like they're both going to be able to scout one another. They're both doing pretty damn similar things. And maybe it's going to be the most standard macro game between them so far. I mean, we've seen Proxy 2 gates. We've seen a lot of wild stuff. Even the first map, of this series, the Site Delta game, where it's like, I take a Nexus faster and I walk across the map at 5 minutes and kill you. Just a strange PvP series.
And it really has been, as the couple of adepts will try and find their way through for the moment. Going to get to the natural, and actually will commit to the shade, I think, because the Stalkers are far away, so we can get just... oh, he actually killed his own probe. Did a lot of self-damage today.
We have a lot of it.
It's not a good day to be on your own team, I guess.
No, the friendly fire has been brutal today. It absolutely has. Alright, so Blink pretty close between them. I mean, Nami's will be a little bit faster. And now it's how fast we see them take their thirds. If you're Lemon, that thing's already halfway done by now. But these guys, in fact, it's a very symmetrical game between them. Thirds will start to go down. I see the blue probe in the triangular position here, so slightly different choice of thirds, but it's about as mirrored as it gets here.
Stalkers blink, they're going to grab that hallucination, so that will go down, and we still have our Stalkers here. Also just going to come about, just see the hallucination still moving up toward the top. And again, Blink is about to finish up from Nice in the next couple of moments, so we get that Blink completed. A couple more gateways will be going down. And the Observer still Corona boosting along as our Stalkers and Sentries will go firing it up. And this fight from Nanami just coming straight through. He's going to lose his Guardian Shield now. That's going to take away, I think, any edge he might have had. He will have to stop blinking out of here. He's got Blink on those 2 Stalkers at the back. Coming off cooldown, but this is bad. He actually loses a lot of Stalkers trying to get away. Yeah,
that was not smooth. I mean, the fact that he left the injured Stalkers that had their Blink on cooldown behind there, that was probably not the play, because I think Nice was anticipating, alright, can I actually blink on him? Because if I blink on a guy with fairly similar Stalker counts, then he has Blink to back off, then it's just a bad fight. But Nanami made it pretty easy for him, and Nanami this game, that is 6 gateways right now, so no Forge on the go. He's not about... In fact, no, sorry. It's Nice with 6 gateways on the go. He's got the Forge coming down, but Nanami doesn't. Yeah, I mean, they're both going to be clocking in on a very high gateway count.
Yeah, you were right. Nanami did have 6, and then 2 of them just finished up, I think. So, yeah, they both are basically doing the same thing. Nanami's just doing it off way less workers, but the fact that Nice is already kind of doing the same thing as him just a few seconds later, to me, means that this worker cut is not going to pay off. Nice has had this worker advantage for a bit of time already, and I think he's going to benefit from being able to just warp in so much more. So I can't really see Nanami having enough to break through, especially after losing a few extra units at the start there. We'll find out in a moment.
That fourth base attempt, though, that could spice things up a little bit here.
Yes.
And I mean, does have a little bit of a quicker charge here as well, and army values. I tell you what, Nice Warp Prism Sniper even had a unit in the mix there, and I tell you what, this is about as good as it's ever going to get for Nanami here, and big warp in from Nice here over at his third base. Those are still Roddy Zealots. Okay, now the Benny Zealots, they're nice and quick. Guardian Shield does get eliminated here from the fight, and I tell you what, Nanami is making this about as close as it can possibly get in this situation.
Yes, he really is. He's giving it a real good go. He's going to knock down a pylon here. Not sure how much impact that will have. He still has a slight army supply lead. Super Battery fades on the left-hand side, and he's going to blink and really focus on these few Stalkers here. I would have liked to see him just get rid of these last couple of Zealots, as we do have another battery coming up. He's going to go for the pylon, though. If he gets the pylon, the batteries will be depowered, and the new batteries are both on that pylon, so that is a big deal.
It certainly is. I mean, no more warpins on this base, and I tell you what, it's going to start losing probes out here. Nice still with a little bit of reinforcements in the top here. This is incredibly close between them. Remember, Nice still has more probes, 10 more in fact, but gets that pylon back up. That is a pretty damn clutch pylon to get back in the fray. Now Zealots warping in at this third base. I think Nice is just about able to get it going, and I'll tell you what, the hug of doom on those Zealots, nice defense out of Nice. Very, very clutch getting that pylon up again.
Yeah, that pylon was massive because all of those batteries were fresh, so they had all the energy in the world ready to go again. Ah, lovely. Well, we do have now the counter from Nice, who is going to be ahead. Workers still obviously never lost his worker lead and has the army supply advantage as well, so looking pretty darn good for Nice here. Across the board, he just needed the defense. He's got the upgrade lead as well, and Nice maybe about to push us through to a game number 5.
Yeah, I like the decisiveness out of Nanami going for that, like cutting the probes massively and stuff, but that was a nice hold out of Nice, wasn't it? Like, you really felt that that was about as good as it was ever going to get for Nanami, but now that Nice has survived, the good old Zerg approach, if you will, where you've got the 4 bases now, you're absolutely cooking. He's not been too scandalous about probing up like crazy either. I think he realizes this is a weird game, and he's being careful. He's even getting cannons here, which I like a lot from him.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Nice just anything like that is just going to give him a benefit of the doubt if Nanami does show up with one more attack. So the Stalkers are in position. I love that. They were just a little bit back, which makes the bait of that Prism moving a little bit closer. Is going to be Prism shot down with units inside, so even more of an advantage for Nice now as we do try and send this through to Game 5. Nice is across the map. I'm looking to send it to the final map.
Yeah, I mean, Nanami's just hoping for a mistake here. He's hoping for a big mistake, and I'm not sure he's going to find it because he is working against superior numbers, superior upgrades as well. I tell you what, it's still a scary army that he's got, but holy cow, Nice has a lot. I mean, it's one Archon in the mix, which is in the best position for it, dealing a lot of damage to these Zealots, but Nice just has way too much.
Way too much, and that is game decided. Nice is going to be able to hold on. Man, Nanami, though, really has this talent of kind of being maybe not the best spot, and then making it extremely close and extremely hopeful anyways, right? Like, this last game, it kind of felt like there was an opportunity. It kind of felt like maybe there would be some hope. And maybe he had a chance again. It was the same in the game before, right? We kind of felt like he wasn't going to do it, and the glaive attack was just good enough. It's kind of wild, his ability to do that. Very scary play to be up against heading into Game 5 now, and it's anyone's for the taking.
Yeah, I think it was good that we mentioned, and it's going to be Dynasty to end things off as well, which is fun. Don't get to see this a hell of a lot, I feel. But the fact that these guys were so close in the groups, like both finishing 4th and 5th kind of thing, this was on paper set to be the closest match of the evening, which, yeah, it's looking good between them, and it's been spicy too. It's not been easy for either one.
Nope, it has not been easy in the slightest. It is a tough series. Players are readying up as we join in here, just waiting for one guy to stay ready, and we are going to kick it off into Game 5. Dynasty, weird map, in base gold, which points out on the map, so it's like not real. It's in base, but it's kind of not, like it's exposed. Very interesting. Will be intriguing to see if either player plays for that, if either player doesn't play around that at all, because we've seen kind of both happen in PvPs, where some players will take it, some players will just ignore it completely for a long time. And it's going to be this final map of the series then, and it's the final map of Asia today. We're moving into Europe in about 15 plus minutes, obviously a bit longer if this series goes on that long, but it has been pretty quick games between these two. 5 to 10 minutes has been the kind of length, so we might just be bang on time for EU as Dynasty comes up. Loading screen is here, and we are counting down into our map number 5.
Definitely feels like Nanami is a bit more of the wild boy, though, of the two of them, right? Like,
yes.
Nice, a bit more straight up, if you will. I mean, the 2-gate build on Site Delta was probably not that normal, but, you know, Nanami showed us why it's not normal. Anyhow, spawning over in the bottom left-hand side here, on Dynasty, it is Nice.
And the top right-hand side, our blue Protoss player is Nanami.
Yeah, I'm very curious how the expanding is going to go. I mean, I'm also very curious about like the unit comps and the tech choices early on, because Nanami's he's not shied away from just being a little bit crazy. Like he really hasn't. Probe cutting, kind of random attacks in a way, but he's been scary. Like they've not made zero sense. They've absolutely made sense when he gets himself into a bit of bother. But even that attack there, is that a full wall off by Nanami? All right, up to no good.
Well, this is the tricky part of this map, right? Where you can kind of maybe... I guess it's not quite the same as post-youth, because you can actually scout the gold. You can scout if that base is taken or not. But the full wall does obviously deny a lot of info for the early stages, so he'll commit to that. Early pylon to make it happen, and he just does not want his opponent to be in there, seeing what's up super early. But like I say, it's kind of interesting because you can just spot the gold from the other side of the minerals in this map, so this would have made sense to me on post-youth. But this map, just intriguing.
It's very intriguing. Does he have a probe out on the map or anything like that? Doesn't look like it, right? So, I mean, mind game galore from him. This feels like a position for a Stargate, but I feel like a Twilight Council might fit better. Okay, it's going to be a Stargate.
Pop that down, and see Nanami looking to get a little aggressive with that Stargate early on, of course. Try and get over, try and get an Oracle out.
This is one of those games where Nice came and scouted and saw there's not a gold base being taken, and he saw there was one gate up the ramp, so he's probably thinking like, all right, he's doing something weird to me, isn't he? I get the strong feeling that's the case, and yeah, he's scouting around here. It's like, where's your proxy, mate? Where's your proxy? You've got to something's going on. So regardless of where this game goes, the mind game sense, like Nice doesn't quite know what he's up against, and as a response, he's going to be like, you know what? 3-gate robo. Let's go.
I'm into it though. Like, we've not really seen a super aggro build like this so far as well, so not a bad time to bring it out. The robo comes down from Nanami immediately though, so he is going to try and be as safe as possible in the back of this Stargate. I love that. Currently he's struggling though, because 2 Stalkers will out DPS 1 Stalker, and even over the pylons, be able to put some damage onto that building battery. So get rid of the battery early. That's a great trade, and yeah, that's just an unfortunate situation for Nanami, who has to build another battery a little bit further back. That is money wasted on the potential future defense.
It is, and Nanami, he didn't focus down the Stalker that was missing most of the shield, and he has to be so careful here, man. Like, oh dear.
It's falling apart.
The plan has failed, Wardy. It's failed. Look at this. Finishes up as the Stalker dies as well. This is a disaster of a start, and I mean, there's an Oracle coming over. I mean, he has a big mission on his hands. I think he moved the... Oh, no, he didn't move at all. That definitely slows down things quite a lot. I mean, Nice. He doesn't have Blink to get out of here. And Shield Battery, the second one, does just finish. Little random Sentry comes in the mix as well. Nice warping pylon over there.
Slow warping into the natural. Now he'll start to hit it, but a Void Ray popping up is going to be a big part of being able to potentially defend this. And if you do defend your upper base, that's the situation right now. Prism shows up. That can help to evacuate some units. Are we going to let this natural go down as Nanami? It looks as though he might not want to risk the Void Ray.
I don't think he wants to. I mean, if the Immortal's out right now, obviously, absolutely contest. But this is, yeah, I think this is a wise move by him, just letting it go. Nice. Is he... Okay, I was going to say, is he tonkering on down here? But we'll just make sure he gets on out of there. And he's still got a probe over there, Wardy.
He does. It's going to reset a little bit then, but I do think at this point, you got to love Nanami's army. Right, he's got a Void, he's got an Immortal. His army is stronger, you know, in terms of the depth of units he has. It's the number of units that will be good for Nice, but eventually another Immortal or two, and I really feel as though Nanami's army is going to be very tough to beat. And Nice has still not really shown us too much. He has the Oracle, stops the probe, getting back in to build the natural up.
That's actually quite a big deal. Like, stopping that natural from getting up, and now he either has to get the Warp Prism back home to ferry a probe out, or try and go for that gold base, which he's going to try, but there's a stasis there. I'll tell you what, Nanami's making this a little bit problematic from being in a bit of a bad spot here. Those adepts are greeted by a single adept here, and oh, there's a couple of adepts actually.
Yeah, cleans that up as we see the warp gate on the high ground, still taking a few more shots of damage, so a little bit more coming in. Gonna be seeing the battery to actually keep that alive. Don't hate it. The Immortals want to be careful moving down there because they're afraid of maybe getting force fielded apart and then picked off. It's not a bad thing to be afraid of. As the prison going to pop from Nanami, that will give him a bit more freedom. We're getting to the point where I feel like Nanami's almost going to have to go do something, because him just sitting at home, I guess he starts up the gold base again. Nice is going to go into that gold base as well. I mean, I guess maybe he is okay just to be at home. I mean, the bases come up at the same time. Blink is on the way from Nice. His opponent, Nanami, is then choosing to play more tech-based units instead of the Blink. I guess it kind of evens out in a lot of ways.
I actually don't hate it for Nanami. The fact that he's been so brazen about getting this Immortal drop going. Because that really is going to throw a spanner in the works, Wardy. That's the correct saying, I do believe. And Nanami, all of a sudden, he's got a good amount of supply. A real good amount of supply, and those Immortals, they're landed. I don't know where they are right now. They're going over to kill that natural. Didn't in fact, I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, he killed one pylon. I think he thought that was going to be the pylon 2 depower, and then there was another pylon. I think he was too busy defending. So
yeah,
he's definitely miscontrolled those Immortals. He could have had a lot more from them. But I mean, he's doing it correctly. He's defending right now. This is maybe too many Stalkers to truly fight against, and he's got to be super careful because Blink is about to be done. Yeah. The moment Blink is done, these Immortals need to be kind of already gone. They're going to get blinked on now, so just going to have to drop them off. We do get both out at least, and the Stalkers are on Blink cooldown, so... okay, I don't hate the recall, because at least we're going to save one of these Immortals.
Yeah, definitely, and I mean, they did recall on... Did they recall here? I mean, he's got 3 Immortals out, and Nice's probe count is not that healthy, to be fair. And if they are in a straight-up fight, I mean, Blink is all well and good. You can't mine from this gold, which is definitely problematic, but fighting against 3 Immortals here, this is... It's not a simple one here, Wardy. Mr. Oracle's back. How many kills does this bad boy have? 5 so far, but he's done a lot of scouting, a lot of denying of bases as well. And some ore count still growing. I mean, those probes, they are running through the fire here, I feel. Not quite in range of the shield battery.
Yeah, neither of these Immortals, so you've got to be careful with them. Pull them back a little bit. Pros are getting healed instead. Now the batteries are going to get that energy drain pretty quickly. I mean, this is an issue because you might have knocked down Nice's probe count, but at least he can actually mine off of his gold base. Absolutely. I like that. These force fields are nice.
I mean, going in for this Nexus, won't be able to get it because that overcharge is nicely used here. But I tell you what, every moment that's going by where Nice keeps the Oracle alive. Whew, 4 health remaining. Every moment that goes by, he is mining more. And Nanami, look at that in the production tab. Yeah, that could be kind of cool with this number of Immortals, because you don't really want to blink on Immortals if there's a whole bunch of Adept Glaives over there.
Yeah, interesting, because obviously I feel like the Glaives does not do as well against heavy Stalker counts, which is what this already is. I'd say Glaives are usually much nicer when you're kind of playing against someone who's about to transition into the Zealots. There's one Immortal stuck, the other Immortal just got saved. But yeah, I'm kind of with you about at least the Immortals will then not be something you can blink on top of, as now the Void Ray shows up on here at this side. Nanami's done a great job of stopping Nice from mining off of this base as much as he can.
He really is, and I mean, this is the most random little squad, isn't it? The Stalker, Phoenix, and Oracle fly over to the other side of the map. I mean, Void Ray will suffer a defeat here. It was obviously just used for the early game defense. Nice going into charge again, which... It's always a decent move, but against what he might be up against here, this is nice blink micro out of him. Will pick up a Stalker and great force fields as well. He's actually playing this very nicely, because this was not an easy situation to be in.
No, I think he's taking control of this. I think he is looking good as Resonating Glaives is about to finish on the side of Nanami, so getting that Glaives completed. And with that Glaives done, we'll be able to continue through. Charge coming up on the side of Nice. 5 extra gateways are coming. A few Stalkers just going to open up that pylon, and the rest of this Stalker Sentry will be sitting around as well, as the Oracle is going to activate and go after a whole bunch of these probes. So a few probes going down, the other Adepts going to move in here. They're going to be a few workers going down as well. I mean, this is going to be across the board a situation where Nice is just starting to take an overall lead. I mean, all those gates coming up from Nice as well, so he's going to have even more production. It's looking great for him as this game may be starting to come to a close.
I think it is. Just even though, like, Nice has just done such a good job just managing the eco so well, and even now, like, he's just constantly throwing in units here. These adepts were a bit crazy, but the workout, neither one of them has really got too far past 30 probes this game, but it hasn't really mattered. 7 Stalkers at once. He has 7 gateways on this kind of economy. In fact, he has 8 gateways on this kind of economy. That's crazy.
8 gateways in this economy? There's no way. As our Stalkers are going to go catching this Prism. I mean, we can blink to get rid of it, right? So the Prism goes down, and I mean, in a more open space, this is going to be not good for Nanami. He's going to lose one Immortal before the others really get to join the fight. The Phoenix will do its duty and lift up a single Stalker as we do blink on top, and I just think the numbers are really here from Nice to just get rid of all of this tech. And even if he loses a lot of Stalkers, I'm not worried about him being able to rebuild, because he will rebuild so much more than his opponent can, even if it is just gateway units, and it looks as though that's not going to be a concern anyways, because he is going to completely wipe out this force. GG's, and he's going to win this series. Great showing from Nanami, but Nice, the veteran.